In 1999, a group of students and their teachers buried a time capsule in the yard of their school. Filled with dreams and curiosity about the future, they imagined a day when it would be unearthed. Wondering what future generations would think of their gift, how long, until 2025, they pondered. Will we really be adults by then? The capsule found its resting place, hidden from sight, but in their hearts and memories, it was never forgotten. Founded in 1974, Sharjah English School stood proudly amidst miles of scorching desert, a beacon of life, a precious gem in an endless sea of sand. Over the course of half a century, the sands were gradually covered by urban sprawl, roads cutting through the desert as the Emirate of Sharjah flourished. And with that growth, Sharjah English School didn't just adapt, but evolved, changing locations not once, but multiple times. Today, Sharjah English School proudly marks its 50th anniversary. More than just a location, it represents a legacy, a place filled with meaning for every student, teacher, and family member who has been a part of its remarkable journey.
What makes the school is really special is that this is a non-profit school, and the school's aim is to provide excellent education and excellent personality built of the pupils and the students to prepare them for their higher studies and their life.
I often describe the school as a precious jewel buried in the desert, covered by sand, in the sense that it isn't necessarily hugely known. And it's a shame, because it's a school that achieves very high expectations in academic outcomes, in holistic outcomes for all students, in terms of sport, music, drama, and students go on to the best universities in the world across a plethora of careers, with a very high happiness index.
So in the secondary SES, we have about 500 students from a really international background, and I suppose our job is to try and create really holistic educators. That exam results are always really important. However, for me, what's even more important is creating well-rounded people that actually have a positive influence on the rest of the world.
It's very, very hard to say what's unique about SES. It's a feeling. It's about a sense. You sense it as you walk around, and you see happiness. You see children willing to share. And we all have things that we can celebrate, and there are also things that, challenge us, and that's okay here. So the essence of SES is about how comfortable we all are being different.
I've spent what feels like my entirety here with either my daughter or my son, who both attended here. The people are warm. It's full of professionalism and full of ideas, full of old and new history, future, and it just makes my heart warm.
50 trees are planted on campus, each one a living symbol of the school's fruitful years. Guests from around the world, many of whom played key roles in the school's founding, return to honour its legacy. And a unique journey through time, a researcher, someone deeply rooted in the SES community, sets out to uncover the untold stories of its past.
It's really because my wife came to teach here back in the late 1990s when it was at Samnan. I've always been very fond of the school as an idea. You always had that sense that there was a fundamental goodness to what's being done here. I was involved when they buried the Millennium capsules, just as a way of helping out, really, because you tended to do that. People tended to help out with Sharjah English School. And then on the history side of it, it's just it's got a fascinating history and we didn't know about it. And that's the sort of thing that scratches at you. I get an itch. If I don't know something, I want to find out about it.
With curiosity of explorers, they dig through archives, memories, and history, piecing together the narrative of a school that began as a dream in the desert and grew into a cornerstone of education in Sharjah. Al-Mahatta was Sharjah's oldest and sole airport, and it was here that the first building for the school was established.
And the ruler of Sharjah agreed that these planes could land in Sharjah, and in order to protect the passengers overnight, because they stayed overnight here, they built a fort, and this is called Al-Mahatta Fort. There was a British banker, who was in fact the manager of British Bank of the Middle East Sharjah branch, David Eldon, was starting to see more and more companies coming into Sharjah and a demand for education for their kids. And David Eldon went to see Dr. Sheikh Sultan and asked them for land, asked the ruler for land. And so that the school could open at the start of the school year, that September, they rented temporary accommodation in Al-Mahatta Fort. It wasn't ideal. The kids had to block their ears every time one of the RAF jets landed. There was no air conditioning, there weren't even windows. And that was Marie Gladstone's Casimir School.
So she came back after she came back from Castle Haywood when she left Sharjah English School. When I came to visit the Christmas concert, we could hear from this tree. Trees obviously very important. She had a platform now.
So the Union Defence Force barracks was here. So during the war, this became
We saw something before.
and in 1971, on the 22nd of December,
I want to say about that date-ish.
As the school marked its 50th anniversary, Marie Gladstone celebrated a remarkable milestone of her own, her 100th birthday. With grace and warmth, she sent a heartful message.
It is a great privilege to speak to you all today on this very auspicious occasion. It is truly amazing when I think that a school that began in a desert fort has made such remarkable progress in the past 50 years. May the next 50 years be equally as successful. Memories have flooded back to me, and to many of you, I'm sure, as the years have rolled by. Those of you who have been here a long, long time, and those who have been here a short time, must be very, very proud. My sincere wish for all of you are as happy, successful, and that the future will be as rewarding to you as it has been to each and every one of us that knew your school.
In a generous act of support, the ruler of Sharjah granted a plot of land, paving the way for Sharjah English School to establish its first purpose-built campus. In 1975, the school found its new home in the Dasman area, marking a defining moment in its history. Today, the site where the school once stood has transformed into a residential neighbourhood.
Another big tree that was very important to him was a gate
They
for
were
shade.
temporarily there and they came into the first site.
Yeah, there was a big Arab house, small road.
Only just here.
Yeah, just here.
You know, this is signal.
and in fact the school expanded and expanded to the point where in 1978 it needed another new campus, so they moved to Samnan and established the school there, which was next to Sharjah Wanderers Sports Club, which the school used as its sporting facilities.
Remembered fondly by many, these were happy days. In Samnan, where laughter once filled the air, memories still echo, now gently overlaid by the hum of a new school and a rhythm that's not quite the same.
We're at the corner opposite the foundation.
Started as French room and one back, small. Oh, did you have one at the back as well?
Since its move to Maliha Road in 2005, Sharjah English School has stood with quiet strength and enduring humility. Though vastly different from its original location, it remains, in spirit, much the same. a place of learning, growth, and community.
Having spent 11 years as a school principal, it was in general a very uncertain start. There were struggles with leadership and with enrolment. The campus was very different and underdeveloped. And really the thing that marked SES out as a place that would survive and would grow was the faith that the parents had in the school. Their commitment was impressive and inspiring, and was one of the reasons I joined the school and continued to work there even when we were going through difficult times. But one of the key decisions then was to submit the school to outside inspection and evaluation. So the BSO inspection, that did reveal the school to the wider community in the UAE, to the wider education world, both within the country and further. It was no longer possible for Sharjah English School to carry on as a sort of hidden little gem. We were now competing with the top schools in the country.
You know, when you look at that original school in Dasman, it was built by Tarmac. The Tarmac staff and their friends used to come the weekends working on that school building. It was a community effort. And then, of course, with Sharjah Wanderers at Samnan, again, there was very much a community around it. This school has always been part of and always had a very strong sense of community.
We have a very, very supportive and active parent support group, our PSG. They're constantly here supporting us. You know, the school community would not be what it is without the great calendar of events that they participate. There's never a time that we don't have access to a parent support member, and that there's never a time where they have not said that they cannot support or they cannot help.
The reason why I have my children here is because of the community feel that I don't see in some other schools. I think one of the reasons why I joined parent support group as well was because I wanted my children to see how we can give back to the community, and I think that's something that they had to see their parents emulate. We have more than 40 nationalities in the school. Any community willing will cook for the others. They will bring food into the school and then everybody will come and test. Otherwise, the sports days for Ramadan, we organize a collection with the Red Crescent. We are normally holding second-hand sales.
One of our values is be you, so that they feel that they belong to a place. So they enjoy coming here every day because they feel known, they feel respected, they have friends, they know staff who've been here a long time. Staff tend to stay here quite a long time because it's a nice place to work, and students feel that sense of connection to each other, as well as staff, as well as, of course, mums and dads, and uncles and aunties, and the events that the school holds really help to cement those relationships.
And so, 25 years passed. The time capsule was unearthed. During a series of celebrations marking the school's 50th anniversary. Looking back, the past feels familiar and comforting, but the future remains a mystery. Where will the school be in 2050? This is the very question those children once asked as they gently place the capsule into the ground.